Hi, everyone. Brian Kurtz here, doing another video blog. And today's, if you read the subject line, when 41% is a majority, you probably thought I was talking about the upcoming presidential election. And frankly, if you've been watching the presidential election, the number might be accurate, actually, because our winner might be in that category. But the reason why I came up with 41% as a majority is that I've been writing in previous blogs just recently a lot about the 40-40-20 rule. And the 40-40-20 rule is the basic direct marketing rule of thumb that says the success of any campaign is based on 40% the targeting and the segmentation of the list and then the quality of the list, 40% on the offer that you make and how irresistible it is, and then 20% on the quality of the promotion and the creative and the messaging and all of that. And then I've talked a lot about how that doesn't mean that the creative is less important because it's 20%, or that it's actually double the amount of importance of the list or the offer, but it's a really good rule of thumb that I like to follow. And so as I've been thinking about with a few clients recently and realizing that the list probably is the most important, I'm changing the 40-40-20 rule to the 41-39-20 rule. And so lists are 41% of the equation. And the reason why I say that is that I really believe, and I believe this from the beginning of my career in the early 1980s until today, that if you have the perfectly targeted list, you're really well on your way to success. And I can prove it because I've seen situations where the lists or the audience was off and you had the best creative written by the best copywriter ever, and you got zero response. The same thing would be true online today. Go to the wrong audience with the perfect piece of creative and offer, you'll get no response. But the opposite, where if you actually have a list that's perfectly targeted for your offer, there are people that are suited for what you have, and you kind of throw at them maybe a red box with a flashing arrow. I don't want to be too crude, but creative that's less than ideal, and an offer that's good but not great, you'll make some money. You're going to make some money. And that's what's happened to a lot of internet marketers over the years. Not the ones that I hang around with, but a lot of the ones that we don't want to hang around with, because they can throw anything up there on the creative side. And because the lists are so targeted, they have great affiliates who will endorse them. So therefore, they make money and they think they're doing great marketing. The key, though, is to put all of those three things together. So even though I'm making jokes about the list being 41 and the offer being 39 and the creative being 20, it's really about putting all those three things together, because if you have the perfect list selection and the perfect offer, the irresistible offer, and you come in with some world-class creative, that's when you start building a business for a lifetime. And that's where things start exploding for you as a marketer, online or offline. So that's kind of all I wanted to share today. The other thing I just want to leave you with is something that I read in a blog. I think I put it in one of my blogs recently, but I want to tell you about it because it really disturbed me that someone was taking the 40-40-20 rule and they had turned it into the 25-25-25-25 rule. And what they were saying was that it's no longer, just list, offer, creative, but it's actually 25% list, 25% offer, 25% creative, and 25% technology. Now, I'm not a technologist, nor am I a Luddite. I embrace technology. I think it's really makes us better marketers. But I just want to quote Bill Bernbach, who I quoted in the preface to my book, and I'm going to quote him again here. Never adapt your idea to the technique, but adapt your technique to the idea. So you want to come up with that idea. You want to come up with what you want to share with the world, to the right list, with the right offer and the right creative. But if Facebook's the best place to do that, great. If display advertising is a better place, great. If both are great, even greater. If you want to do TV, you want to do radio, you want to do direct mail, all good. But don't fall in love with a medium before you fall in love with your idea and that your idea will sell and that there's a list for it. And so I came full circle there to say it's still 41% list. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll hopefully see you next week. Thanks.